it's not the wrong time. Maybe it's just the right time to be on my own, yeah. Don't need your permission to lose my inhibitions when I'm all alone, yeah. High up in the clouds now, baby, I ain't coming down. You keep trying to catch me, baby, but you're still on the ground. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready. So kiss me up at night when I turn out the lights, 'cause it's on my mind, yeah. It's something deep inside when there's nowhere left to hide, and I feel it on me. High up in the clouds now, baby, I ain't coming down. You keep trying to catch me, baby, but you're still on the ground. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready. If you want it, come and get it, get it. Come and get it if you want it, get it. If you want it, come and get it, 'cause I'm so ready.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Big buzz. Welcome. It's a happy hump day.
Happy hump
You
day.
didn't do hump day for me.
Hump day!
There it is. Hump day. Welcome, New York, New Jersey, and all our friends and family. Frankie got yelled at
What?
because he starts his shift at Trader Joe's right now, 12 o'clock in Manhattan.
Yep.
He said they can't put our show up there no more.
Why?
Because the boss said that they want looped music. You ever go to Dunkin' Donuts or something like that and they have looped music?
They say music changes your outcome and how you want to shop. That's why it's what you're hearing apparently changes what you buy.
Well, they said they want more comedy. We didn't give them enough comedy.
Well, then you should start being funnier.
You should start being funny.
Me?
You. That she should start being funny. Look, she's already laughing. We didn't even get started yet.
Jamie Collins in the house.
And Jamie.
Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Hump Day.
Hump
WGHT. Katie on the mic. Yep. What you got going on over there? Hump Day.
Josh is being difficult.
Nope.
He's
now
being
New
very
York, New Jersey,
disrespectful.
everywhere knows the deal.
I got to tell you that we have a great show lined up. Everyone's Halloween. We have the master of Halloween over here. We've got Mr. Paul Martini with us. He has now moved on from Halloween. I think we gave him a day to recuperate before I brought him into the show. The entertainer, the man, the myth, the entertainer, the voiceover, the you name it, he does it. We've got Evelyn Balin joining us, the heart painter. And the ever elusive but very successful Mr. Jamie Collins of PI Network Florida in the house.
It's been a minute. Where you been?
Oh, listen.
Secret Service?
No, well.
Talking to your mic.
Part of that.
Talking to your mic.
services
Whoop. Into your mic.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Part of that's been civil service as well as I've been ill for a while. So I'm back now. Doctors cleared me, so I'm doing much better.
Well, welcome back.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Now, this portion of the show is brought to you by the artist behind this, Mr. Bieberman.
Ken Bieberman, I love this artwork. As a matter of fact, did you know that his pieces that have been NFT'd to the Vatican have now been signed? The Mona Lisa and
There's another
also
one, right?
Jesus
Yeah.
on the cross. And then there was one more. They've all been NFT'd to the Vatican, and they were signed off by the Papal of Italy.
The Papal?
The Papal? Because more
The
than the
Papal?
Pope, it's the Papal? Papal?
I thought the Pope signed it.
It was he was very young, that man.
I
So
call him the
maybe he's
Pope.
like the Pope in training. But anyway, it has been signed, sealed, delivered to the Vatican, which is pretty much, you talk about living a dream. That is amazing. Imagine being an artist and having the Vatican say, we're going to take the NFTs of these prints and keep them here.
I think the Pope should come here and sign that one.
It's pretty remarkable. Anyway, the Mona Lisa, Jesus, and then there was one other. I want to say it might be these horses. We have reproduction prints, and yes, they are all for sale. The originals are at Ken Bieberman's studio, and the NFTs now belong to the Vatican.
And if you want to meet Ken Bieberman and buy one of his pieces, he'll put something on the back. He'll give you the certificate of authenticity.
His pieces are also spotlighted in New York as well, and a lot of restaurants.
That's right. So, New York, if you're listening, come and get it because it's waiting for you. Other good news, oldies. We are now going to be on, I don't know, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stations on oldies. We're going to Jupiter down to Miami. What's wrong with it? Is it? So what do you want me to do about
Fix
it?
it.
Want me to rip my shirt?
I know, he tells me it's a
How's
skin
that?
mic, but it's not a necklace
Is
mic.
it better?
Did you really just pull your shirt apart?
I did. Don't care. The man, the myth, the legend.
That's how you know we're definitely not on network TV. Wait, let me stretch out my collar for all of you that are listening.
If I was on network TV, I would change everything. Right? But anyway, on oldies, we are going to Jupiter. We're going to be, you want to see these numbers? I can't see. What are the numbers?
Yes, we are currently 95.3, 96.9 FM, 1470 AM with oldies, the True Oldies station. We are now actually going to have broader coverage, still with the True Oldies station, but now also up to West Palm Beach and Jupiter, adding 95.9, 106.9, and HD3 of 103.1. All oldies South Florida from Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, all the way up to
Jupiter.
Fort Pierce, actually, is what it's
Pierce.
looking like. The
Fort
HD
Pierce.
goes all the way up to Fort Pierce.
Yep.
Pretty amazing.
Pretty good stuff. We are also going to be offering packages. We have one on November 12th, right here in Meisner.
I believe that's right there. Is that with John Tesh?
No, that's a different one. The one here, it's not right here.
Look under your paperwork.
Oh my God, you got a lot of papers.
I gave you all the papers in the announcements that you would
That
need.
means I got to put on my glasses because I can't see any of this. You know, you got to prepare me.
You know, when we had oldies, was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, we had Paul Martini, and he is in the house. He was Vertigo. He was Bono joining us.
He gave me vertigo. He was moving and grooving, and they put those shots on here. I was like, holy smokes!
You know, I was reading an article this morning. I was thinking of you. Apparently, the real Bono was at the White House with former President Obama and his wife, and they were having a lovely dinner of wine and food, and all of a sudden, so the story goes, Bono was MIA. And I'm like, where'd he go? And his wife says, oh, he has an allergy to sulfites in the wine. They found him sleeping in Lincoln's bedroom.
He was drunk. You see, then I
He
said,
says, I do not remember
That's
what
rock
happened.
and roll for you.
This is all from People Magazine. And he says, I don't know. All I know is next thing I know, I got tired and I was looking around. I don't know how he went from the dinner table to the Lincoln bedroom, but somehow President Obama found him there sleeping, and they went, oh, he's got an allergy to sulfites in the red wine. I'm thinking, okay. But then I was thinking of you, Paul, so your next gig.
They're actually pretty good friends. They hang out a lot.
I thought it was you sleeping in Lincoln's room.
I would have probably chose Kennedy.
Allergic to the sulfite. This is too much wine, if you tell me.
So I was thinking, no wine, no more wine for Bono. So next time Paul's in the house, we're going to go right for something else. But I have to say, since you've been here, the band that you put together, when you had Vertigo here, how you did it, it was the most professional production. You guys took it to a whole nother level. Your guys were amazing. You set up, you even had a little bit of an equipment faux pas. fixed it, and still went on air.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's show business. You guys know better than anything. The show must go on. So what was it, like 3 minutes before we were supposed to go on, the bass drum was missing. So all of a sudden, they raced out, got a bass drum, stuck it together, and pulled it off right as the red light went on.
It sounded amazing.
It was so great, and it was funny because your bass drummer, he looks at you and he goes, "Where's the bass drum?" And you look at him and said, I thought you were bringing it. And he goes, "I thought you had it." Now I'm thinking you guys are this is your gig. This is your skit that you do before you go on air, until I realized no one had the bass drum.
Yeah, I mean, especially like sometimes, when you're in a band like that, I'm the singer, I got my equipment, everybody's responsible for what they do, but sometimes, it's just, they made me actually bring the electronic kit because of the space we had to do it.
Right.
And, but hey, we pulled it off, right?
It sounded fantastic. No, and then they start playing with the cameras, so all of a sudden this guy, you could tell, it felt like he was on the stage, not like that. And the camera angles, you went right to them. I guess they were pointing where to look.
Well, that's because I...
That was pretty good.
He's in showbiz.
That was pretty good. I
know
gotta
what the
tell you,
camera
they were really proud of the fact that they got the job done.
Yeah, we had a blast that night. That was amazing.
He is in showbiz. You also do In Excess.
Yes. Yes, a full 1 hour set of In Excess's biggest hits.
Do you have a favorite? Whether you do U2, In Excess.
Well, of course, I'm a U2 guy, from way back, starting. But In Excess was a part of, our high school experience as well. All those Listen Like Thieves, the album came out. So if you were into alternative growing up in high school, you were definitely an In Excess fan as well. Until they became commercial, and then of course, that was it. They exploded.
This guy definitely knows how to have a good time. Ask him how many kids were at his house for Halloween.
How many kids you had in your house?
Oh, the bus loads.
Bus loads.
Bus loads. They pull up in golf carts, vans, this. Some of them, they can't even get out because the children just absolutely will not get out of the car. They don't get out of the car because the place looks like, like an entire haunted graveyard, like authentic.
Your place?
Yeah, hand-painted gravestones. I sat there and, I take the machinery and cut the gravestones out with little, the authentic, then hand spray paint them and get them looking, and then, animatronics and everything. You walk up and there's a werewolf,
You got pictures?
I got a whole video on Facebook. Yeah,
Wow,
I'll show you.
it's on YouTube?
It's on Facebook.
Oh, I gotta see.
Is there anything creative that you don't do?
Well, I do enjoy a challenge. You got something in mind?
I mean, think about it. There's not one thing we bring up to Paul that he says, "I can't do that."
I know. We were just talking about that. He's a very creative individual.
Voiceovers,
Facebook?
advertising, all of it.
Thank you.
I want to know what his Facebook page is.
All right, what's your Facebook page, Paul?
I am, that's personal.
Oh,
I am
wanna
Paul
see the
Martini
pictures.
On Facebook. You can check out the Halloween video on there. It's very cool. It's like it's funny because most of the people that I have as friends on Facebook, they see it every year. And most of them, they come to expect it. Do you remember, you grew up, Dawn, you grew up in Plantation, so do you remember the Plantation Santa Claus? He came around every year.
Every year.
There was a plantation.
There's a plantation. He still does it, of course. They throw him on the back of the.
And the plantation parade. I remember.
Yeah,
I think
they throw 'em-
I would walk down. What was it, Broward Boulevard at the time? The parade went from like the 95, where they had the little candy stores where I took ballet, was over there, all the way down to like the City Hall area. Yes, that was when it was a small town. We actually walked in the little city
You
parade.
had your own Santa Claus.
We had our own Santa Claus.
So there's a Plantation Santa they throw on the back of a city truck, right? And then he throws the candy all out on the street.
Yep.
He goes from the entire blocks of Plantation everywhere. So what I did is I've started something every year where I go out and I film him, and all of the people come to expect. They said, "Oh, now it's Christmas because that video played on Facebook." I'm like, wow, now I feel obligated to go get it.
Wow, everybody knows what you do. See that? And once you're creative, you just got to keep going.
A couple of years ago, I was at Meisner for Christmas. Don't ask me why. I must have been drunk. and they flew Santa in a helicopter.
Wow.
Welcome to Florida.
That's
And they landed him. I could not believe. And they were like, the cops were trying to keep people away to land this bird. And I'm like, yeah, somebody's going to die. But it was tremendous, the amount of people. You ever did it wasn't Meisner, it was Atlantic Avenue.
But we're not doing Christmas yet. Josh says we cannot do Christmas until Santa crosses the threshold of the Thanksgiving Day parade. Am I right?
That's the New York City parade. New York City.
He told us
tell
we can't do Christmas until we get through Thanksgiving and the Macy's Day Parade. And then once Santa crosses and he waves his hand,
We should go
then
to
we
New York and do our show
Let's go.
for Thanksgiving Day parade.
Can
right?
we do it at WGHT? We can go to their studio?
Sure. He already said absolutely.
That would be a whole lot of fun.
Tickets.
As soon as
we
So
hit
Freddie said,
tomorrow
Ball
morning,
tonight.
get back to me tomorrow morning. Not only will I fly you to New York, we'll go out in a jet, a private jet.
Private jet?
Yeah.
Will there be bottled water?
Jermaine's going to get us there. Yes, bottled water.
Bottled water. Yes, for you.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, let's talk to Jermaine Collins of PI Network Florida. We're going to talk to the Heart Painter, Evelyn Balin, see what Paul's got going on and what else our crew's got for Hump Day. 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we will be right back.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, Contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
Love the Brooklyn Cafe? Don't miss out on some of the latest merch we have available. Need a new shirt? The Brooklyn Cafe has you covered. We have a variety of shirts in all sizes, ranging from the classic cafe shirt to the highly coveted colorful hot dog shirt. Need something for cold weather? Why not grab one of our cafe hoodies? Or you can snuggle up with one of our soft silk touch fabric blankets. The Brooklyn Cafe has everything you need, from clothing about the show to our signature coffee blends and mugs. Get it while supplies last.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We did not congratulate Josh on that. A 7-0 sweep.
7-0 score, not a sweep yet.
Sweep.
I read this morning that the poor Astros are losing their edge. I don't know how anybody can write the Astros off.
7-0 sweep.
I say the Astros again lose tonight and they win tomorrow, and then they go back down
to Houston.
3-2. They go to Houston, and they're going to win that 6th game, and then watch out. It's anybody's ball game on the 7th game.
So what is this, 2-0?
2-1 Philly.
Oh, 2-1, that's right. All right, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Should be fun.
It should be fun. But Josh, we were thinking of you is all I can tell you.
I wasn't thinking of him.
I'm always thinking of Josh, you know.
I can't believe that the Phillies are even in the World Series, much less winning. Ugh. You have no idea. I must have gone through 4 pairs of socks. It burns so much.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's check this out. We got Jamie Collins here, Evelyn Balin, PI Network, Florida. And Evelyn is the heart painter. I've known Evelyn since my daughter, who is now 30, was a freshman in college. I was walking through a mall one night after dinner, an outdoor mall in East Boca, and she had this beautiful heart painter studio. We walked in and said, "You ever looking for art interns?" And she said, "No, but I'm not opposed to it." And that summer, Chelsea started working with her, and that was her first internship.
Very cool.
So Chelsea is now 30. So it's been a little while since I've known Evelyn. And then I got to get reacquainted with her when we went to the movies of Del Rey and we saw Eric Gordon's movie. And I heard this voice. Ever not see someone for a long time, but the voice stays with them?
What'd she tell you? Dawn!
So there's this voice walking up and down the aisles of the movie theater giving away these heart token bracelets. And I thought, the voice, heart tokens. There's only one person in this country that I know that is all about hearts and heart tokens, and sure enough it was Evelyn. So it's like you just never want to lose connections, but I'm so glad that we've reconnected with Evelyn.
Thank you, Dawn. Yes, that was funny that we met at Eric Gordon's documentary.
When all that matters is love, right?
Yes, and he continues to promote that all over the world.
It's a documentary that he went through with his father having Alzheimer's.
Right.
And what his mother as a caregiver went through, and then he documented another family friend and what it was like. You saw the movie?
I did not see the movie.
Never seen it.
You brought him to the studio.
Then he's been to studio a few times, and now the movie has gone from an independent to award-winning around the world multiple times on what he's brought forward on Alzheimer's and caregiving.
Well, I think the most amazing thing about it is when he realized, or we realized through the show, how love really is all. We say love is the answer. Well, it's true, because when you go from love, everything always works out. All is well. All is well when we're in love. That's why,
You've always only painted hearts?
No. I paint
I mean, I know you
walls,
paint
floors.
other things, but you were known as the heart painter.
Yes, many years ago, I woke up literally and went to my studio, which I had in my house, and I started painting hearts. I don't know how that even happened. Now I realize spirit was working through me. I was a little bit depressed at the time, and I started painting hearts in such a way that it became meditative. And that meditation brought me out of that depression where I can have clarity. And I just keep painting those hearts I used to ask God, what the hell am I painting all these hearts for? Stop this craziness. But I realize it's a message, and the message is to love yourself. Really, that's the ultimate. If you can love yourself, everything will be fine. There's nothing to ever worry about. God's got you. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual, and I do believe that's the truth. Love is the answer. Yeah.
So Evelyn is definitely one of those people that I may not see often, but she's always with us.
Aw.
And then you and I had interviewed Joe Engelson, who had started gratitude training. Oh my gosh, you and I first started 7-8 years ago. And she gave everyone a token. I guess it's almost like a recovery token, but it was a gratitude token. Anyone who went through her program of gratitude. So then we reached out to Evelyn, and Evelyn now makes us hope hearts,
Oh, yeah.
which are our hope tokens, our heart tokens. We always say the token chooses you.
It does,
And whoever
doesn't it?
picks one, the words on it, and you make them, we have no idea what they say, because there's hundreds of them.
And I think they're pretty much 100 different words. Because as
Yeah.
I sit there and I paint these the words on the hearts, they just come to me. And every time somebody takes one, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I got this one. This one affects me. You know, it affects them. It affects their heart. It's amazing. I think that kind of feeling of that love, that all of a sudden you get this idea like, wow, okay, everything's okay, everything's all right. And that's why I like to paint. I like to paint all of that beautifulness into the walls, the floors, the furniture. Everything I do has that feeling in it. I hope that's what people get when I paint for them.
That's exactly what they get. I take a heart and I give it to a perfect stranger.
Yeah.
Katie?
What's the matter? And the token that she's talking, I used to call her Token Joe. Do you know what happened to my token?
Who'd you give it to?
You tell me. You don't remember?
Who you gave it to? Give one to Paul and
You're
give one to
gonna
Jimmy.
hand these out. Go that way.
It's okay.
Check it out.
You can walk in front of the
Katie's
camera.
trying to
it's okay.
find her way around.
Shoot. I gave it to Connecticut.
Ah,
To who?
Connecticut, one of our very first board operator at iHeartRadio. She kept looking and looking and looking, and I said, do you want it? And she says, yeah, but I don't want to ask you for it. I said, you don't have to, and I gave it to her. So moving the story up, I saw her about 8 months ago, and I asked her if she still had it. And believe it or not, she still had it.
Oh, I'm getting to pick one of the love tokens. This is amazing for me.
I think we're up to 600 because I think I just pulled one that
I
said
got
556.
Oh, that's nice. Faith is
I
beautiful.
want to go around the room and see what they got. Go ahead. Go
Oh,
across.
that's sweet.
Keep walking.
Keep going. Don't worry, but you're going to do it anyway.
I can't tell you how amazing it is for me to have one of my own love tokens, because
That's right, but you picked it here.
I usually have them in my pocket and I give them away, you know. And
That one you're going to have to keep.
this one I do have, last time I was here, there was another one, I got one. I can't remember exactly what it says right now, but it's sitting in my room. I keep it. Thank you so much.
What does that one say?
It means faith.
Of course it does.
It's a
Jimmy,
good-
what does yours say?
Mine says love.
And that's what you are.
Mine says love, and it's interesting that I selected this one unknowingly because about 2 weeks ago, I got a call from one of my clients. They have 2 little children, and I went out to see them because they were asking to see me, and I pulled up to the door and I'm knocking on the door and no one's answering. And then I look down the hall and here comes these 2 little boys. They're running, they're excited, and they run and they jump up in my hand and they just hug me and they go, we love you, we love you. And they had this little, it was like a glass elephant. And the grandmother said, they went out in the store today, they knew you were coming, they said they had to find something for you. So these 2 little boys, not even, I think one of them is 4, the other one is about 2. And they already know and appreciate the fact of love. It was just amazing. They're just 2 amazing little kids. Yes.
Paul, what'd you get? He had to put on his glasses to see it. I know.
Yeah, read it.
You have your arm, need a longer arm.
I love it.
I got think love. Yeah, I'm always thinking love.
You are. You're always giving back.
Yeah.
You're always
That's a
giving
good. That's a
back.
good. That's a it's a good suggestion for a token of heart.
I was telling Evelyn the story last Christmas, and we had all the kids come in here from one of the schools down in Miami. It was the first time these kids had been out since COVID.
I remember that.
And one of their chorus teacher came in, and they're little elementary school kids. She brought in, 50 kids to sing Christmas carols. And one of the girls faints in the back of the studio. Before 3 minutes to airtime, this little girl goes down. And of course, the panic erupts of what it is. The paramedics come and they take her to the hospital. Now, her family's in Miami. The teacher is here, so she goes to the hospital alone. And I give her the bucket of Hope Hearts, and she picks one. And she's crying, poor little thing. And she gets one that says faith. And I said, you hold on to this when you go to the hospital. And that is exactly what these hearts do. I know anyone who looks at them, they're little clay hearts, but there's so much more to these little clay hearts. Whatever you create, Evelyn, is just a gift. So I thank you for always.
Thank you so much.
For always doing. You want to get one?
It's a double header because it's not only taking and getting the heart. A lot of people come in here and they save it like a memento or something like that. Right. But it's when you run across somebody who could really use a kind word, like what you have, and you meet this person, and you talk to them. What's it say? Kind. And you talk to them, and all of a sudden,
food is your friend. There you go.
All of a sudden, you hand a card to them, and it changes their life. And I already know who I'm going to give this to.
Yeah?
I'm going to put it in my pocket, and it'll be gone by tomorrow night. I know exactly who I'm going to give it to because it's funny. In my life, man,
Joey.
In my life, I have a story every day, maybe 2, maybe 3, of people who could use a kind word. When I used to coach, you probably know this, Paul, we used to tap players, they still do, in the back of the knee. When you walk up and down the dugout, when you strike out, you had a bat, and you tap them because what you're doing is you're transferring your positive energy to a guy who's having a hard time. So these hearts are full of high frequency. And you take this heart and you put it in somebody's hand, and you say, you keep this. And all of a sudden, their whole life changes. And they'll come back. Do you know how many people have walked up to me and say, you're the guy that gave me that heart? I got a guy who I'm bringing in here. He met me when I went to the banana boat. He says, where do I know you from? You're the guy that gave me that heart. He takes it out. And I was going to save that because I want him to come on Friday. But it is amazing what a small sample of giving, something from the heart, will do to people. And this is just my life. I've just been blessed that way.
And Evelyn, I know you do so much more. So then I just moved last year, and I don't do well with white walls. So I met with another artistic decorator in the house, and she gave me this quote that was like, I could have moved again for the price she gave me. And all of a sudden, I'm scrolling through social media, and up pops Evelyn. And I'm like, oh my gosh, will you come faux some walls in my house? You've seen them. The crew was there for a breakfast for the holidays.
Beautiful.
And how you tied it all together for all these rooms in my house is amazing. So you do so much more than hearts. You do painting, you do commission, you do everything.
But I pour my heart into everything I do. That's why when I leave my mark, you're feeling good in your home.
Have you always been like this, spiritual and giving back?
That's a good question. I want to say yes about the giving back part. I've always been busy with different things. Like when my kids were little, I was PTO lady kind of thing, always busy with the kids. I started to really access more spirituality later on, probably in, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago. I've been living a long time now. But my goal is to just paint, and people should feel the love that I pour into it. So yeah, I do a lot more than just hearts. I recently came back from Chicago, where I took classes on more faux painting for walls and to beautify everything, to add more life to people's walls, and it just makes people feel better. I think that's what I'm really about. I want you to feel better where you live, and restaurants, and just enlighten people's lives by beautifying everything. I don't know. That's me.
She does a great job. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Evelyn, Jamie, see what else we've got going on. This hour just flies by. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned, WGHT, and we will be right back.
When it comes to investigative services, you can't settle for inattentive or irresponsible services. PI Network of Florida is a firm that you can rely on for actionable insight for personal or professional matters. From surveillance and insurance claims to background checks and identity theft, the investigative services are extensive. With over 30 years experience and 2 decades of serving the community, PI Network of Florida is trustworthy and reliable. Call today at 786-768-4394. Trust your gut. Trust PI Network of Florida.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are 2 good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life. Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
If your family is suffering from inflation and high costs caused by Lois Frankel's reckless policies, Republican Dan Franzese is clearly your best choice for Congress. Dan is a successful businessman who understands finance and economics. He's not a politician. Dan grew up blue collar and knows how tough inflation is on working families. Dan Franzese will go to Washington and fight the liberals who are killing us with inflation. Dan Franzese for Congress.
I'm Dan Franzese, and I approve this message.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. You notice how Paul picks up the energy in the room?
He listens. That's what's always interesting.
See, what Paul doesn't understand is that he has cameras on every movement he makes. But you could tell that he picks up the vibes in the room. You know, he has that whole thing going on. I hear them in my ear even though I'm looking down.
Do you?
It's true.
All right, we got to head over. We're going to get back to Paul. We got to head over to Jamie Collins over here, PI Network, Florida.
Good afternoon, everyone.
You know, every time, unfortunately, every time you hear someone needs more of what you do, it's like when No Place for Hate or the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, comes in and they say, we only wish one day we could be out of business because there would be no hate.
Yes.
We only wish one day you wouldn't have to be here for the human trafficking and what you do, but
Right.
you are, and it's nice to know that we do have resources.
Yes, and I'm glad to be there to help. Like I said, I've done child welfare for 17 years. I'm now doing that with the combination of the PI network. But it's interesting to always find, each time I come in here, I find someone to relate to. I'm here this morning and I can relate to her, and she told me about the lady on the plane, and I'm like, wow, that would be awesome to at least connect with her, to find out what it is she does and, you know, how I can assist. It may not be in the same state, but each state normally carries the same amount of issues related to trafficking. So it's always nice to be able to come here and relate to people, and that's what we're all about. I found a different side of PI Network that I try working, and it's always to empower women. I see, as I'm working with the children, I see a lot of the same issues with the parents. Drugs, prostitution, and these prostitutes are they're parents, they're mothers to these children, and so the child's going to follow in that mom's footstep. So hopefully by the end of next year, my sister and I are trying to launch some form of program where we can not only be involved but help to empower women, especially prostitutes, on different route to go. I met a prostitute about 4 months ago, and it was interesting because she said she wasn't doing it for the thrill of it. I don't know if you can even use that word because there's no thrill in prostitution. She was actually doing it to try to pay her way through school. And it was sad because it was a sad route to go. But as I sat down with her and I spoke with her and told her the different options to go to school, she was not aware of it. So it was interesting to sit down with her and talk about some of the things that she had to do, not only to make a living, but try to get the money to go to school. But it was just interesting. We never know how someone lives. We may see them every day, but we don't know how they live, how they acquire things, how they eat, where they sleep. And it was interesting to talk to her because she literally went home every night to an apartment she had. It wasn't, it was like an efficiency, but she was trying to better herself by doing that in order to go to school. So it was interesting to talk to her. So my agency is all about empowering women to make certain decisions that are beneficial to them. In other words, there's a lot of social media out there on dating. I mean, there's a lot of them. And sometimes you go on these dating, I don't know if you've ever seen the series Catfish. Catfish really plays up to what some of these medias, what they're hiding behind camera. And so I like watching that because it's interesting to see how it unfolds to the person that's actually on these medias. So it's nice to be able to let women know that, hey, there are different avenues you can take out there in order to find out who you're dating, who they are, what they are, what they do. So that's something that I really love to do. I really love to, once I get a report, say, hey, listen, he's not what you think he is. He's wanted in 4 different states. So it's really nice to know that, We also have a lot of elderlies out there that are also getting scammed by these dating websites. Once they get a certain age, they're looking for someone to love them. And it's interesting to see the amount of elderly people that are going, even these dating websites, to get dates. So it's really, it's my pleasure, let me put it like that, to be able to be informative to these women.
You're helping women with dating, you're helping girls, but you're also working in the world of human trafficking.
Yes, that's a big thing in South Florida. I think South Florida, it may have been New York, were ranked the second highest in human trafficking. I don't know if Florida is still out there, but it's such a scary thing that you can be walking on the street and be kidnapped as a child. It's really scary. And a lot of children that are even in welfare, child welfare, they're persuaded to become part of this trafficking.
No, I understand. I don't understand any of it, but I've heard the persuasion. I've heard the gaming side of it, where the girls are on and they're talking to predators on the other side, not realizing who they are, and they have a joint meeting or that type of thing. But they're actually being physically abducted from the streets as well?
Yes, they're actually being physically abducted. A lot of our girls that are in child welfare kind of voluntarily go into it. They're told that they can make this kind of money by doing this. So they sort of voluntarily do it. That trafficking organization starts at the bottom. They have like an older adult, which she may have been in prostitution or been part of the trafficking for quite some time. So what she does is she does a lot of the recruiting. They call her the bottom bitch. So she does a lot of the recruiting for upper. So between the social media as well as recruiting, they do that. And they know a lot of these girls come from broken homes, dysfunctional homes. But yes, they were even abducting them off of the streets. At one point, they were using chloroform and just abducting them off of the streets. We haven't seen too many of that lately, but they're still doing it.
And how are you helping?
Well, the state of Florida has a way of going into the backside. We call it the back room for social media, like Facebook and Instagram. And for a long time, they were using, I think before it even became visible, they were using like face recognition, because we could tap into the back office of those, or the back room of those Instagrams, and we could basically see if that child is part of our runaways or part of our abducted children. And we could see that because we knew we could do the location. They could do the location of where these children are. So it was really interesting to do that.
You know, one of the things that I read since what was his name, Epstein? One of the things that I read was they bring in the well goes real deep. There's some high profile people involved in this whole scam.
Oh, yes.
And the girls, what they tell them is, listen, this can't be wrong. Look at this guy. This guy's a somebody. He's a player. He's a football player. He's a state senator. He's something. He's a somebody. He ain't no creep you're going to meet in the back room. How can this be wrong when you're going to be hanging out with this guy? And all of a sudden, these deep players, they'll tell you, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know she was 14. I didn't know she was being catch. And the game has shifted because they're using psychology with these players who they're paying. They get it for free. And, you know, this whole network, I'm glad that they uncovered this guy because now there's a black book that I've been told about. It has 10,000 names of players. And when I tell you players, this ain't a Freddie on that book. This is a player. This is somebody who is a somebody in our society. And they use that cover-up to induce the girls to come out and not be scared because this guy ain't gonna hurt you.
Yep, that's the ruse that they use. And with the males, they're telling them, oh well, your wildest fantasy was to be with a younger or teenager. So they're dressing these girls up to make them look older yet younger than they are. So you know, you could be, you know, selecting a young lady that looks like she's 18, but she's actually 12 years old. But by the time they do the makeup and the clothing, she looks older. And that's the only part. She looks older. She's not older. So they use that ruse. But I'm quite sure in Epstein's case, all of these people knew that these were younger girls.
Of them did.
You know, I read where one of the one of the statements he used to make to them, well, what is your wildest fantasy? Isn't your wildest fantasy to be with a young girl? So, you know, you got these football players, and, you know, I even heard that the Prince Williams or Prince Charles was one of them.
He's involved?
Yeah. You're telling them, oh, well, we have these, we can fulfill your fantasies. You know, we have these young girls, you know, but they're over 18 that we can make your fantasy come true.
But you can help. I know we have to come to the end of this hour. If people suspect that they know of a child that's being trafficked, or they know of an adult that's doing something wrong, they can call you and your agency?
Absolutely.
How do they do that?
They can reach me at 786-768-4394, or go on our website, PI Network, FLA.com, and you can reach me. Call me at any time. My phone is always on 24/7, and I'm willing to help.
And the information will stay confidential. So if somebody tells you something, their identity will be
confidential.
Which is really, really important to know. You know, a lot of crimes are being resolved now because people actually are telling on people.
Yes.
There was a crime that was 5 years ago. Did you hear about that guy? He was a janitor in the school, and he killed those 2 girls, and somebody came forward finally, and they ratted him out, and they found him. So ratting out is one way of looking at it. Doing the right thing.
Saving a life is another. Yeah. Evelyn, how do people find you?
Wow, I'm just like wowed by this story here.
We're going to come back after the top of the hour, but I want to give out all the information on this end.
Yeah, you can reach me at theheartpainter.com, 954-551-0402. Theheartpainter.com, you can find me there for sure. Thank you.
Mr. Martini, you too, NXS, Marla, you name it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here pretty
he was leaving a half hour ago, by the way.
We're going to do let's do a concert and bring awareness. Holy smokes. You know how you have 10,000 people at your things? Can you imagine having some kind of awareness? You got to make noise, because fear is what's keeping people away from what we should be doing the right thing here.
Wow. A concert to bring awareness to
With
human
this guy.
trafficking.
This guy, we do a concert on, then we do something.
Yeah, I'm in shock over the whole conversation.
Because you can't believe people can actually do such bad things to other people, especially children.
Well, you know what I don't understand is why people are interested in having sex with young girls. What is that about?
They know they're not supposed to do it. Yeah. Do you remember the movie Taxi from the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know they tried to get the message out? She did. The girl that played, it's a famous actress. What's her name? She tried to get that message out. Do you know they almost shut that movie down from being played? They didn't want that being discussed, the powers that be. But if you watch the movie Taxi, they'll show you back in the 70s this was a problem.
The first time I heard it, I thought this can't really be a thing.
It's a thing.
And I didn't hear about it until you and I were actually in this business. And I can't believe Florida, where we are ranked as high as we are. South Florida, actually, right around where you live, Paul, is like one of the #1 areas.
You know what, though? Have you thought about this? This has been going on forever, because this is called slavery. We're not just talking about young girls, 12, which is horrible, in any color, whatever, whoever's being picked up. I'm just in shock from this. But this is slavery.
Hold that thought, because we got to go. We'll be right back.
On the other side of this break, WGHT, have a happy Hump Day. Happy November. Everyone who's watching us can see us on the other side of this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
All right, New York.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits. a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
When you wear Zamboni Couture, you can feel pride knowing that you are supporting a small woman-owned business. We advocate for women's empowerment and always embracing feminine freedom and equality. Our fashion is all about style, quality, passion, and color through the use of amazing fabrics to help you find your own individual style. Let us inspire you with beauty and color. Follow us at Zamboni Couture on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or call us at 561-860-6099.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me, when will this fighting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Well, you're wrong. Or will you just leave and hide? You always said that I've let you down so many times, but now you see that all I ever did was try to get your attention for just one little loving word, but now I'm gone and our bridge is about to burn. I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. Here we go. We just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me when we're just fighting in pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you run? Or will you just leave and hide?
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I tell you, the Phillies win and he goes berserk.
I got to tell you, Chuck says to me, you know, you were never really into sports, but suddenly now you want to know baseball scores, you want to know football, you want to know what Philly's doing and the Eagles and the Jets. I'm like,
Why not?
why not?
Listen, we're doing more and more shows. If you want to participate and have your own show, you too can be on television and everything else. I'm excited because we're going to go Roku Live.
I was going to ask you about
And
that.
I'm going to tell you something, it ain't an easy trick. To have radio, television twice, 6 radios at the same time.
Hi, Andrea. How are you? We haven't seen her in a long time.
Yes, I think she's still in Florida. If you're in Florida,
do?
come and see us, yeah.
I thought she moved.
No, I don't think she quite left.
All right.
It's tough to leave the sun in Florida.
Andrea, how are you doing? I know we haven't seen her in a while. Nice conversations during commercial break. It's almost like we almost wish we could air them and you would all see what goes on here during commercial break because it's a whole lot of collaboration on some ideas.
I tell you, and sometimes you're associated with people and then the ideas begin to flow. And this guy's like a magnet. And you can feel it going from there to here. And I'm listening to the wheels grinding in my head because some of the ideas he gives are phenomenal. And then you can do them. They're doable.
Well, you know what's interesting about this group? Everyone's listening to everybody else. There's some people we have in here, and everyone's very gregarious, and they're talking, and they're over-talking each other, and it's great.
They're very what?
Gregarious.
That's like Gigantor.
Outspoken.
Remember Gigantor?
No.
Remember Gigantor?
No.
You don't know the cartoon Gigantor?
No.
You guys know this cartoon Gigantor? No? Gigantor.
I do.
You do?
Of course he does.
That was a Japanese cartoon, wasn't it? You don't know Gigantor?
I don't know what Gigantor.
I do.
But everyone in this group, everybody's listening, which is really interesting to see how the dynamics of a different group works.
Now, I think that the heart painter here has something in that black bag. I'm sort of curious, what's in your black bag?
Ooh. Ooh.
There's sound effects, too.
Yeah.
What do you got cooking in there?
Well, I just wanted to say something, because something other than the black bag. So I'll show you the black bag in a minute, Freddie. But I'm sitting here thinking, so I meet a woman on the airplane all about trafficking, sex trafficking, and now I'm meeting, I don't know why I'm having
Just say
trouble
Mamie.
again.
Just say Mamie.
Mamie, about trafficking. So I know there's something in the works that Evelyn Ballant has to be involved with here. So I decided to get that out. My black bag, I know you want to know what's in my black bag. So a couple weeks ago, I went on this amazing retreat for artists, artists teaching other artists how to create more faux finishes, and I brought a few samples to do some show and tell. So I'll show you, Freddie.
Show me what you got.
I'm going to show you what I got. So one of the classes I took was called Jewelry for Your Walls, and it's so sparkly.
I'm in.
I know. Dawn is going to love this one.
You know, I had to tone down my living room and kitchen because it's my living room and kitchen, but she knows I really want those jewels in like my pink room.
Oh my God. Oh, wait till you see this one. Hold on. I'm going to show you this one first. Bum, 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 bum. Are you ready?
Let's see
Are
what
you ready
got.
for this? Boom.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I know I've showed you something like this, Dawn, in total gold, but this is total silver. And it also has like, you have to see it in person to really see. I'll show you in person. See, Dawn? Shiny.
That's amazing. Shiny,
Yeah.
sparkling jewelry things. It's
And
like
then,
swirl.
wait a minute, just wait a minute. I mean, it just goes from good to gooder. Are you ready for this one? Boom. Oh my God.
Wow.
I love this piece. Yeah, this one's called Balboa Mist.
It always makes you want to redecorate, right?
Listen, you know what happened to your house, okay? As soon as you put some beautiful wall finishes on your wall, what happens?
You actually enjoy it.
You fall in love with your house again. You feel better when you come inside. That's what I do. I help people feel better in their homes, in their restaurants, in their wherever.
And when you look up and you go, wow, I really love this wall. I really love how you tied it into that wall. When she was doing my house, I actually threw an extra wall. We were sitting here one day. It was like 12 o'clock. And I said, can you add this wall to it? And Chuck on the text goes, no. And I went, yes. And she's like, okay. And that totally, I was burned commercial break. And she did it. And it's when you open the front door, it's that first wall you see instead of the wraparound. Yeah. It's a little wall. It just makes the biggest difference as it just ties it all in.
Just one wall. I call it a wow wall because when you see this kind of finish in your house, it's a wow. There's a lot going on here. It's glass beads. It's mica. This particular finish has mica, which is a natural formation in rocks, and then it's got some other weather. There's a lot going on here. But the point is that just one wall changes the way you feel about your home. It's just it feels better. You feel joyful. You feel happy. I could go on and on about all these positive words, and that's what I'm
about. Because you can only
about.
do so much with the flat color of paint.
Yeah. And wallpaper doesn't do it because wallpaper is flat and it's not. Sorry, wallpaper people, but.
No, it's too easy. There used to be in the day where people used to paint one wall a different color.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and they call that the focal wall, and that's very nice and lovely. But if you put
What about now?
You put a texture over that flat one wall color, it just changes everything.
It changes everything.
It changes everything. Yeah. Yeah.
They're amazing pieces that you do.
Thank you. I have a lot of fun with paint. I love doing this because I know it's going to be a wow.
You know what I love so much of what you get to do as an artist? You've made this your passion and your business.
Yes.
Because a lot of time as creatives, and Paul, you've done the same thing in different parts of creativity, the rest of the world says, oh no, you can't make a living being a creative. If you're an artist, you can't make a living being an artist. You have to do something else, and you can do that on the side. Same thing with you on voiceovers and music. But here
And
you both
children's
sit
books.
in creative spaces, making a living out of doing what you love.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be doing what you love to do.
Absolutely.
You got to just make it work.
Absolutely.
Keep going. Keep doing it.
Just be different. You know, I was working with my father in New York, and there was a fire in this apartment that we had to redo. And I went in there, and it was so bad. This was a gas fire. So people died in this fire. And their handprints were still on the wall.
Ooh, wow.
And I said to my father, Dad, I can't do this. And he says, yes, you can. So we cleaned it all up. We had a company come in, and we had to paint it. So what he did was he took the paint, he went to the church, and he got some holy water and some powder. I don't know what the hell it was. He put it in the paint, because I used to mix it, and we did the apartment and everything else. He says, no, this is holy ground, he tells me. So whoever comes in afterwards. That apartment sold in 10 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes.
It's all vibration. Everything is vibration. So if I'm pouring my heart into what I'm doing, you're going to feel it. That's why,
Right.
Dawn, that's why you feel that in your home,
Right.
Dawn. It's the love that is being poured into that. That's what happened in that, with the holy water. Because you guys were pouring beauty and love into that. You left your vibration there.
I never forgot that when my father took the craziest deals, man. This was when AIDS had come out in New York, and it was bad, and we had to do a couple of apartments over. And then I used to say, can we do this again? And he said, no, you can only do it once, he told me. Then you have to do something else. You got to do something. You can't do the same quality.
Wow.
And my father, I'm going to tell you, came out of his bag with different things. Harry was a musician. My brother was a musician. My brother used to put a box. Remember the box you used to walk around with on your shoulder? And he used to put that thing blaring in the apartments that we used to do, where there was either a murder or somebody died, heart attack,
Wow.
seniors. Harry used to raise, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I guess they knew something I didn't know.
Wow.
And these apartments were condos, and they sold like this. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So there's something to this.
This is it.
Yeah.
It's how you feel about what you're doing that creates the difference between it being sold, let's say first, or not being sold.
But this has been around a long time. I remember doing hallways, and they were owned by a Jewish family. These hallways, and they used to put stencils on the walls. I couldn't do it. My father was the only one who knew how to work with stencils. And then after the stencils, they put this shimmery thing on it.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this.
And there it is. And here it comes. Go ahead, show us.
I got to show you one with a stencil.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that be beautiful in the dining room or living room?
Anywhere.
Or your boudoir?
Yeah, anywhere. Your glam
One
room,
wall.
your makeup room, bedroom.
Wouldn't that make you feel happy when you came and you saw that?
It's
amazing.
Can you imagine walking into a big apartment building, huge, and you
Yeah.
get into the lobby and
A
this is what
hotel?
surrounds you?
Absolutely. I would
Wow.
love to do a hotel. One wall in a hotel. That would be
That
beautiful.
is beautiful.
It is.
Because how many paintings, art pieces can you actually buy to fill a wall? You can't, but you can invest in this.
Yes.
And every time you walk in, it's just beautiful.
I
I
know.
love that.
I love
That
this
is
piece.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's done with the stencil, and what's on top?
Yeah. The stencil is on top,
Uh-huh.
and it's all glass beads.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have these little rhinestone to make a little pops there.
But my house
But
was in
underneath it-
green.
That is
Uh-huh.
gorgeous.
Underneath it
Same
is
thing
kind
in
of like
green.
it's metallic, but it also has a more of a flat fin. I don't know how to, kind of like a concrete look.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, it was always flat because you wanted to adhere.
Oh, I love this.
Can't do it under shine.
Right?
Oh, I love that.
Can you
It is a
imagine going
beautiful-
into Jamaica, one of the homes, and I'm sure you work with group homes or children's home or shelters for women. Mm-hmm. And instead of just looking like a shelter,
I will
actually
donate myself
a
and time
wow
to do
room.
that. I would like to paint over. I would do that for.
Oh, wow, that would be awesome.
Maybe that's what this is about.
I'm sure you know of plenty of, unfortunately,
yeah,
plenty of
yeah.
places
Yes.
that women, they're working, the kids come home from school and they just feel like I don't have a home, but there could be this wow.
Yes.
We have
space.
group homes. We have group homes. We have shelters. I would say the shelters, once you've been removed from your home because of domestic violence and you have to go to this place where it's not home and there's several other women in there with children and what, it can be very depressing.
Yeah.
It can be very depressing. So that would be awesome.
I'm an uplifter, and that's what I do. So
And
I'm going to uplift their home.
Oh, wow, that would be awesome. I
Yeah.
would definitely
I love
get
that
in touch.
word. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. I will definitely get in touch with
No, we'll be in
some
touch.
of the, okay, we'll
There's
be
a
in
reason
touch.
why
We'll
you
talk,
and I.
yes.
I mean, you could have anybody here. You know, you had a creative. Paul's here. He's Mr. Creative, and I just sat on a plane with a woman that was doing what Jamie. Why am I having trouble?
Mamie.
With? Mamie.
Either way.
And I love her name.
Like
I
Auntie
love the way
Mamie.
it feels on my mouth. Jamie. There's a reason why her and I are here. Yeah. Thank you.
Every time she's here. She met Mama Ali the last time she was here.
Oh, I'm having a blast with her. I mean, I am just
You know, she's up for that award, the President's Award.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just we touched bases a couple of weeks ago. She's launching, the new films and stuff. She sent me a launching video with her and the gentleman. I can't remember his name. They were talking, but she is just awesome. And she's sent me a text. I need you to give me this type of information or that type of information. But she is really awesome, and she keeps going. She keeps going. I mean, when she sends me texts, it's like midnight, and I'm going, really? You're up this time?
That's why she never sleeps.
She is
never
just
sleeps.
absolutely fantastic.
And it's funny
Lovely
because I
lady.
sent her a clip of Paul when Paul did Night Train here. I sent her a clip. I says, I need this band in your next movie because she's casting.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, do you know this guy? I go, no, I'm sending you strangers. Yeah, I know the guy. So to be continued. So I was going to give him a surprise for Christmas because they may put him in the movie, which is kind of cool.
And she's making a couple of them.
Yeah.
She's making a couple of them.
Yeah, I want a part. She promised me a part. She gave it to another guy.
She said you were going to be like the mobster or something.
Yeah, now
right?
I'm a mobster. First I was a cop, now I'm a mobster.
The mobster.
I went from in jail to out of jail.
Now that mobster part, you with that accent, you would be great for that. You would be absolutely great for that.
I can do all of that. Just get me in the movie.
Just welcome the world of Freddie.
Yeah,
So,
but
I got to tell you, I wish I knew you ladies back. I had a house that I used to be a banker, and I used 401k, and the day was different than it is now.
Mhm.
There was monies to be used if you did it for shelters, and I built a shelter for women. It had 6 apartments in the building, and they had trap doors so that if you're being chased, you hit this button, and these trap doors would come down. I donated the house to an agency in Long Island, but there was a room that I built, and it was textured in this room with low lights and everything else to heal. Because these women, I knew when they come in, they were, they weren't doing too well.
Right.
And they were beat up and what have you. And you had to sort of isolate them a little bit and give them time to get acclimated again. And these pieces that you're bringing back are bringing all these flashbacks to me because there was a lady that came in and she was being chased and she hit it and the cops called. As soon as you hit that button, all hell breaks loose and they caught the guy. And she was a mess for a long time. I mean, I had a green room. It was that texture, but it was in green. And the lights were low and there was soft music. And this was in the building. And over time, she began to talk again. She stopped talking to people. And it's amazing how what you have in your bag is bringing all of these stories back. With my father. See, my uncles and my father, they were huge in New York in the paint business. I didn't understand it. I was young. I was 9 when I went to work for them, but they told me this is what you got to do, and I did. And most of the textures are what goes on. So texture for me is the thing. That's why I love her art, because all of it has rhinestones and it has texture to it. I wish Gia was here. If you came to, my sister was here. You came to my house in New York, it was all texturized outside. They took cement and they made it look like texture. It was beautiful with blue stone and everything else. Everything I had in my house, including the living room, was all textured. It was that kind of material.
I really want to show you this last one, Freddie, because it might really bring back some memories of you, because you're saying blue and texture.
That's very close to what I had in my That's exactly what I had in my lobby of my first house. My father did this for me. Now this material, when you use it in New York, is cold, right? So I didn't have good insulation on my walls because the house is over 100 years old. And he put 3 coats of this, and then he finished it like that. Oh my God. I gotta take a picture of that. I'm gonna send it to Mimi. I'm gonna send it to my sister. She's gonna say, that's the lobby of your house.
Wow.
This is freaky.
When I first did this with this color, I didn't like it, but now that you're talking about...
Oh, it's so soothing.
Wow, amazing.
I had a fireplace, a green ceiling with gold trimming around the top. And I brought the fireplace back to bricks. And that was the color of the room and mirrors around it. I'm going to tell you, it was...
There's no coincidences, okay?
Amazing stuff, I got to tell you. I like this in certain parts of a house. Here in Florida, to me, the houses are really cold.
That's because in Florida, we seem to think black and white is the way we should look in a house. And what happens is everyone's house is all white. That's the new look. It's white and black or white and espresso, and it's very stark. And if that's not your personality, then it doesn't work. If it is your personality, that's great. It's just not my. Well, clearly, it's not her personality.
Creatives love color. Paul writes children's books, right, Paul? We didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah. But speaking of the houses, and the creativity, some of the stuff is like the older houses, the Florida houses. They have a personality of their own. Yeah. These older Florida houses that you saw in like the Godfather movies. When they were driving up and the awnings and everybody's taking those things and like down in Los Olas area. These houses that have been there forever. The personalities and the faux finishes and the designs on the walls like that, you'd walk in, but they're knocking them all down and making them,
the mega mansions.
Exactly. And that's kind of sad.
No tradition, man.
No tradition.
That's one of the things that we love. I love tradition. I love the old school things. I don't like that sanitary hospital look. I don't like it. I like color. I like texture. As you can tell around me, I like things that sort of breathe life into a building. It's just a whole lot of fun. And also being a creative now, you write your books. Do you have a specific area that you write these, or you write all over the house? I gotta know.
He
this
sits
is
in the graveyard outside of Halloween.
If you saw my office, then you would know that it's kind of like this, but like very crazy, creative, eclectic. It's like somebody used to say, I don't even know how you find, like, it's not a mess because it's my creative, everything's everywhere.
It's your mind.
It's my mind. It's just the way it is. But I find myself being quite enlightened in that room, and even when I move, you move to a different house, it's the same room. It looks exactly the same. You move everything, and everything goes right back to the same, place it was. But going in that room and being good. It's like you were talking about being happy, hanging your pic, having a wall in your house, being, gorgeous and making you feel better. But being in a creative zone, especially if you're writing or writing music or doing whatever, or just thinking about, what's the next thing you want to do for a client, You got to be creative and you got to have that environment. That's why I could never understand, if I can just take a second, I never understand these bigger businesses, right? You hire creative people to come in to work for your creative business, right? But then you don't allow their workspace to be creative. You don't allow them to have their own self-identity. Oh, we're not going to allow you to put that there. We can't do it. But that's part of who I am. That must make,
Paul, you are, I'm so glad you said that. Because in here, they think I'm nuts. Like if I put that box up over there, they want to know, why are you doing that? That band over there, this over here. They go, what are you doing? Why are you doing? This is my mind. Mm-hmm. This is the way I see it.
Right.
If I could do what you do, I would texture all the walls in here. It's not my place. But if I could, are you kidding me? I would do it.
Right.
Strobe lights, anything that moves the eye to me.
Right. And you think about these kids that are coming out of college, right? The first thing they see is, what do they call this? I don't even remember because it's been so long. Cubicle? Is that what it is?
Yes, cubicle.
Yeah, the little cubicles they put them in or whatever. So they come out of college and then it's like these creative factories, these ad agencies or whatever, they strap them to the desk and say, okay, now be creative. But what are they looking at? How is that? How can you be creative if you don't allow them to be in a creative environment? You know, take down the cubicles, take down the walls, make it a big open area. Let everybody, when you walk to another guy's desk, oh, look at that, that's killer. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. And that's why I'm able to produce what I'm producing, because without the environment of your happy home or your walls or this or that or whatever makes you you, you know, it's like you're not going to go into somebody else's house. They're not going to have that faux finish or that look because maybe that's not them. Maybe they're into something else. Maybe that's their not their personality.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I mean, in order to get through the strange game we call life, you have to be able to strap your own wings and fly as high as you can go, you know, and that's my whole
Without fear.
Without fear.
When I went to NYU, they put me in a cubicle. And they said, this is yours. And I said, to do what? To be creative. I said, no. So I rented one of those little rooms at the library, NYU library. I was on the 5th floor. And everybody hung out in my library because they had lights, they had also, I couldn't play the music because it was a library. So, but it had everything else going for it. And I took my sister and she says, this is the way you study? I go, yeah. I learned in that environment. And then the school found out and they shut me down.
Right.
And they wanted a cubicle. What am I doing with a cubicle? I said, forget about it, just keep it, I'll do something. Just ridiculous.
Exactly.
You got one more piece in there before we go to commercial break?
Oh, let me see. Yeah, a little more sparkle. Are you ready for this?
Let's see.
So this is called a strié. It's glass beads over metallic paint. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Metallic paint. I haven't seen metallic paint in a long time.
Wow.
It's back.
It's back. And she's always this happy. She paints your house with a smile. It's like, it's
well,
a
you could
beautiful
tell.
thing.
You could tell. She wears it well.
I love to paint. I love to paint on walls big. I like painting big. So when I was up on that 8-foot ladder in your house, Dawn, I was in all my glory.
You see her convertible with an 8-foot ladder in it.
That was funny, wasn't
a
it?
convertible with an 8-foot.
The ladder was hanging out of the back of her
Did you have a banner behind it?
No.
Painter beware.
I should have.
I almost came to get this ladder. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good on an 8-foot ladder. I'm like, okay.
It was perfect.
Your ceilings are kind of high. She must have been stretching. I don't want to say.
I don't know. She did a great job,
It was
though.
fine. I did have to get over that vertigo. Remember, I had that I don't know how that happened to me, but I had vertigo.
But she did great.
And Dawn and Chuck were like, okay, whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. Whenever you, and it looks beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And the heart painter and all these hearts. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, let's pull this all together. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Imagine doing this in one of the shelters. That would be amazing.
I tell you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact sunrisecoffeenews@mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Ever needed a good read? Maybe a book to keep your mind off things. Frank A. Ruffalo is an internationally known author and accomplished screenwriter. He's written many successful novels with amazing stories. Fiction adventures like The Lady of the Harbor, The Trihedral of Chaos, Gabriel's Chalice, 10048, and many more. For more information, visit www.frankaraffello.com, or you can find Frank Ravello on Amazon.
Bright, bold, beautiful. Audrey Omart creates artwork pieces that make a statement in any room. Using ethically sourced material, these handmade artworks are made in collaboration with divine higher power. This unique method gives vision, passion, and energy to every piece. Find Audrey Omart's work at the Brooklyn Cafe Studios or audreynow.com. Audrey Omart, art that opens the heart.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
No, I just got the bat.
Where'd you get that?
This is Katie's bat.
Katie keeps a bat in her car?
And we're back.
Wow, she gets scarier by the moment. You know, he makes the pumpkin, now he's going to smash the pumpkin.
Yeah, why's he doing that?
Next thing you know, we're going to need pumpkin pie out of the pumpkin. It's like
No,
the
if he
giving tree.
smashes it.
I don't know, it's like the giving tree.
The Giving Tree. Is there
What do you see
something
over
in
there?
that seat?
That was a book, wasn't
Is
it?
there
The
something
Giving
in
Tree?
that seat?
Something in that seat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nice show, see? Things come together.
Things always come together.
I gotta ask him, what are you doing with the bat?
I'm on A1.
Oh, jeez.
What are you doing with the bat?
I'm not doing anything. Oh, okay. What I was planning on doing, maybe either you or Daniel can soft toss me the pumpkin,
Okay, that would be Daniel, but go ahead.
and then I just hit the pumpkin with the bat.
And what the reason for that is? That could be like a cry for help.
How?
I don't
I
know.
miss playing baseball. I just wanna
Anybody
hit-
else walks around smacking a pumpkin
No,
with a baseball bat?
I just want to play baseball or hit something like a baseball.
I don't even know who else has a bat in their car.
It's not like
Where's the stickball bat?
I'm not hitting it with. I'm not like.
You're missing the point that
hitting
Katie
a
had the bat in her car.
Axe through the pumpkin.
Why?
That's the bigger point. Why does Katie have a bat in her car?
Didn't you just hear the segment we had? She got to defend herself.
She's a small girl.
Do you know, all kidding aside, there was a time where gang initiation was kidnapping a female, throwing them into a van, kidnapping them, tying them up and leaving them somewhere, sometimes dead, sometimes alive. It was a gang initiation.
I'm glad she has a bat in her car.
Yeah, but is she going to use it? And where did she have it? In the trunk?
No, it's in the back seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she just has to reach back.
And is she
get
going to
it.
use it?
I think she can.
Because she's not like Popeye. No weakness with
It's a metal bat, though.
So you got to go for the head.
Yeah.
She's got this for you.
I thought I heard everything. I thought it was because the Phillies are winning, you wanted to get into the swing of things.
Oh, okay, yeah, that.
And that too.
That's not the reason.
More to come. Evelyn's just shaking her head. So you never know what's going to happen here.
I'm shaking my head because I like happiness and joy, and violence is not part of that, and
I'm
it's
with you.
so prevalent in our society. And I don't know if it's because we perpetuate it, by the movies that are out there, and so the thoughts are creating all these horror things. I wish we'd have more happy movies, and so
I'm right
Katie
there with
wouldn't have
you.
to drive with a bat.
With a bat in her car. I'm right there with you. It's why we need more love, more hearts.
I was in the South Bronx. I had taken my mother-in-law to work, and she worked in the South Bronx, and she didn't want to leave a car down there. Brand new car, BMW, and I'm at a light waiting for the light to change. And this guy, he must have weighed 400 pounds, is walking across the car, across the front, from the red light, me waiting. And he looks at me and he says, "Today is a great day for a car, what is that, when they steal your car? Car nap, whatever
Car
that's called."
snatching? Yeah.
And he looks at me and he says, "Today's a great day for that." And so I put my hand in my jacket. I didn't have anything in there but a pair of socks maybe. And says, it's a great day to die too. But that I had to do that in order to protect myself. Now, anybody else would probably put in and drive and run him over, but he was a big guy. He wasn't directly in front. He was like sort of to the side. I'll never forget that. And after that, that's why I changed my way of going to work all the time. I don't come the same way because of that incident. And this guy was huge. He said, "There are other cars," he tells me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Evelyn. But I know before we wrap up today that we've got a couple events that we need to promote. Salute to America Veterans Day concert by our very own J.C. Dreesen. So check this out, November 9th at the Herb Skolnick Center. She's also going to be at Cocoa Woods this Saturday night. If you want tickets, you can check that out as well. November 9th at the Herb Skolnick Center. You can find her on social media. Eventbrite, how are we getting tickets?
Eventbrite, I think.
Eventbrite for the J.C. Dreesen show. And of course, you can always tune in here every
Is there a
other
phone
Thursday
number?
night. There is, but I think it's for the Skolnick Center.
Yeah,
Or you can visit Eventbrite. Check this out, Salute to America Veterans Day concert. Veterans Day is next week. Her concert is on November 9th at 7 p.m. And Bonnie Salco did send us the information. I got a text from that gentleman.
I
See
got
if
a phone call.
we can interview him as well. And
this is also coming up.
the Bill Tomei Foundation. I don't know if Josh ever signed up to do this. If you like to golf, Sunday, November 13th at 1 p.m. Shotgun at the Indian Springs Country Club. And all proceeds go back to benefit Boynton Beach Police Department, first responders, and civilians, raising funds to support our youth. Keeping our kids off the street and getting them involved in productive activity, not to be fearful of the police or authority, but to bring them forward and to get them involved. And
Is that PAL?
this is for PAL, absolutely. The Bill Tomei Foundation for Golf, their Return of the Golf Classic, November 13th at the Indian Springs Country Club. You can go to the Bill Tomei Foundation and register for that. Josh, you going to play with your mom?
I haven't brought it up to her. I mean, let me take a picture of the flyer, and then I'll bring it out and see what she says.
Absolutely, will do. Did your buddy ever get in touch with them? No.
I told him to reach back out to them, but
In Boynton?
Boynton Beach, yep.
Boynton Beach.
And he says, "Call me. I'll put you right in because they need them." And
But here's the thing, we can present opportunities here all the time, but we can't follow up on the next step. So we only hope that people do.
And if
the
you
other,
want
the
your-
other thing to think about is how worthy he thinks to be a cop. I think that most people have like worthiness problems, issues. I don't mean to jump in.
No, but the bottom line is he came to us and told us he wanted to. I know I was an auxiliary for 3 years. I thought I wanted to be a cop. I want to be a cop.
I think his one concern is working in the Boynton Beach area. I think he wants to work in Palm Beach area or Boca
But maybe
Raton.
you should call and see what's available.
Yeah.
Make your own deal.
More to come. All right, ready to wrap this up?
I'm ready to wrap it up. Lucy.
Evelyn, it has been a pleasure, the Heart Painter. I know she always has some great Black Friday sales coming up, getting ready for the holidays. So you're going to be doing anything soon?
Sure. TheHeartPainter.com.
She's always
Check it
giving away
out.
something.
For for Christmas, for the holidays, if you want to give somebody a special gift, not a set of flowers that die, this is dynamite.
And she does prints and a lot of things you do. You do tote bags and a lot of great pieces.
Yes, I have a whole website full of paintings that I've done that I've turned into different products, mugs and tote bags and prints, and different kinds of prints that are on wood, on acrylics. So there's a varied amount of things that people can get, aside from the commission work, which is what this is all about.
These are spectacular.
Yeah.
Though.
I still think, you can't, if you have a wall when you walk in or something, you want to highlight the wall, you give her a call. That's a lost art, man. We used to do engraving, wood engraving on doors in apartment buildings.
Ooh.
And when the guy did it, he used to say, okay, goodbye. And I said, no, I want to watch it. No, you're not. You weren't allowed to watch him do it.
Uh-huh.
And it had texture. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
It's
The
good
lost
stuff.
art of hand painting.
Good stuff.
Always a pleasure to have you, Josh. Congratulations on your Phillies. Go Phillies for tonight. Think about Josh as you do that. He'll be smashing pumpkins outside.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to wrap this up. Have a great hump day, as Katie would say, Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Thank you.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.